I finished the underground library chapter. I think writing is definitely one of those things that you really need to use it to hone it. At least I do. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. Tons of information. This is a really, really good reference and I highly recommend. Like I mentioned, my goal is to write for at least an hour every day. Away we go. Welcome back to my channel. I am Brenda and this is Reading by Myshelf. So this week in my writing vlog, I thought that I would just do a plain old fashioned come along and write with me anytime throughout the week that I have time to sit down and write. So my classes have ended. I have my days back to me now. So I am attempting to write for at least an hour each day. I don't have a word count goal within that time period. I'm just going to write as much as I can in that allotted time. So yesterday was Monday and I wrote just under 1,000 words, I think. And I was very happy with that. I finished the underground library chapter and I actually went back and completed another chapter that I had started. I think it was chapter 3 or 4 that I didn't completely finish. So I went back to that, wrote some more in there, and that was the chapter on Alice's sister Amara back on Earth. And it just gives a glimpse of the happenings that are taking place on Earth. And then I started a new chapter, and this one also goes back to Amara on Earth, but obviously later on. I really want to focus on improving my subtext when I'm writing, and so I have been kind of referencing some of my material from school and my other reference materials, which just kind of gives you a reminder, or kind of a refresher, because this last class that I took was the English language, and so it wasn't a writing workshop. And I really hadn't been writing that much because of that. And so it's been, like 2 months just with sporadic writing. I think writing is definitely one of those things that you really need to use it to hone it. Otherwise it gets rusty. At least I do. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to pick up the camera and talk to you about my writing here and there as I plod through. So see you soon. Okay, so I just ate. I wrote for like 30 minutes this morning while I was like sitting there waking up drinking my coffee. And I only wrote like, I don't know, 300 words maybe 4, maybe 3. I don't know. Anyway, so like I mentioned, my goal is to write for at least an hour every day, more if I can, but that's the like kind of minimum that I've set. So I'm about to set a timer for 25 minutes and write and ignore, internet, social media, all that stuff, tuning into my writing, and just gonna focus on knocking out as many words as I can in the next 25 minutes. then I will take like a 5-minute break and then maybe, you know, do something else for a little bit and then come back and do another 25-minute sprint. So that's the goal. Also, I wanted to show you this cool little thermal printer that I got. It's like 30 bucks on Amazon, but it prints out the littlest little black and white photos, like sticky photos. If you're like me and you started keeping a reading journal, then you can print out little photo stickers of the books maybe and put them on in your journal, or you can print labels with it, or stickers, or, you know, all these cool little things. And it was, like I said, like $30. So I just thought that was something fun that I would share, and I will list it in the description box down below. Let's get busy. Away we go. I want to put on some music, so this will probably be silent. I listen using Spotify. I have playlists, or sometimes I will just put on an artist that I like and just let their whole little soundtrack play. And today we're gonna go with Zach Bryan because he's pretty groovy. Timer. Bookshelves, hooray. Anyway, I wrote about, I don't know, 500 words, maybe 6, something like that. And then, so if you add that to what I had this morning, we're probably about almost 1,000 for the day, which is on point, and I am happy with that. So I have some other stuff to do, some editing and things like that. But I printed this, I used this little printer. I just wanted to show you what it looks like because it's cool. So hold on. Oh, see? Look how cute it is. I mean, it's, you know, black and white, so it's not like fancy or anything, but I mean, it's teeny tiny and super cute. And then I just take this and rip it off. And then it's a sticker. Super cute. Hi, baby. So yesterday, even though I didn't write very much because I went to see Dune, which was fantastic. It was so freaking good. If you haven't seen it, you really should. Anyway, so I didn't write as much yesterday just because my day was taken up with, you know, obviously like 4 hours gone for the movie, and then I had some things I needed to take care of before I left, and then when I got back, you know, normal things that needed to be done. So I did write a little bit, but only maybe 500 words or so, but it did take me over the 20K word count mark, which, you know, I feel like every milestone needs to be celebrated because, you know, writing a book is definitely an endurance race, as they say. But this morning I was thinking about the themes that I want to represent in my story, which are life and life cycles, and as well as the tendency of mankind to play God, to try to play God, whether that be in genetic modifications or, you know, extending lifetimes, creating life, whether that be through like hybrids or, you know, Jurassic Park type stuff where an extinct species is brought back and that kind of thing. So I really I need to focus on a deeper examination of that and how I'm going to do that, how I'm going to explore that and make it a focal point in the story. So that is definitely a challenge. And then also I was thinking about the character arc of my main character. She is very much a leader and a protector. And that's from the get-go. So her character arc, she needs to, she very much puts herself on the back burner. Like her life, her goals, things like that, she is not as concerned, not as focused on, and she has had to put some of those deep-seated desires of her own on the back shelf. Obviously, there's these huge concerns and issues going on that certainly, you know, she has every right to be focused on them. But I'm going to bring those kind of deep-seated desires and needs that she is not acknowledging. They need to come into play, and that needs to be a part of her character arc. Like, she needs to begin to evaluate her own needs and to take care of herself, and then also let somebody else take the lead. And then there's her sister, Amara, she's a caretaker as well, but in a different sense. She is more of a motherly homemaker type of person, and seeing as how they are on Earth, her and her husband are on Earth, and, you know, the Earth is dying, for lack of a better word, and so they are scrambling to survive in hopes that Alice and this corporation are successful in eventually finding a new home for them. But until then, they are trying to survive. And some things happen to her or for her that put things in a new perspective, I think. And so her character arc is going to evolve off of those things. But I need to really kind of focus on her a little bit. I've put her to the side a little bit, which, you know, she's the main character, but Alice is certainly the forerunner. So what else? So today I have an appointment to go to. I feel like I always have something to do. Anyway, that's at like noon. So this morning I am just going to maybe sit down and write some more on their character arcs, just kind of finagling out some hiccups, some wrinkles. Also wanted to mention this book by John Truby. It's called The Anatomy of Story, 22 Steps to Becoming a Master Storyteller. I read this, well, I haven't finished it. I'm about halfway through. And I actually picked this up off of the recommendation of another writer. I don't remember who at this moment, but it has some really, really great information in here. As you can see, I have highlighted and underlined so much, and I can actually, review this or talk about this more if anybody's interested. But it talks about, to figure out your theme line is to focus on the actions in the story strictly for their moral effects. In other words, how do the characters' actions hurt other people, and how, if at all, do the characters make things right? I mean, there's so much, but there is also a section in here about the character arc that I thought was really valuable. It's an equation, basically. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I didn't find the equation, but I did find this section on creating your hero, and it talks about building your character in layers. The main character's function. You need to make them constantly fascinating to grab a hold of the audience's attention at all times. No dead time, no treading water, no padding in the story. And you need to make them mysterious. They should be hiding something. And then it talks about to make the audience identify with the character, but not too much. The audiences identify with a character based on two elements, his desire and the moral problem he faces. Desire drives the story because the audience wants the hero to be successful. Then making the audience empathize with your hero, not sympathize. That's the trick to keeping the audience interest in a character, even when the character is not likable or is taking immoral actions, is to show the audience the hero's motive. If you show the audience why the character chooses to do what he does, they understand the cause of the action. Yeah. So, I mean, he just has some really great in-depth deconstruction of building your character, your themes, the different roles that characters play within a story. Your hero, your protagonist, your antagonist, your villain, and so here is it. Three rules for a strong desire line. Number one, you only want one desire line that builds steadily in importance and intensity. The desire should be specific. The more specific, the better. And the desire should be accomplished, if at all, near the end of the story. And I think what it is really great in here is he gives you examples. So he will say, for instance, the desire line in each of the following films meets all three criteria. Saving Private Ryan. To find Private Ryan and bring him back alive. Then he talks about The Godfather. To take revenge on the men who shot Vito Corleone. And he does that for each big idea. He talks about Othello, Chinatown, Pride and Prejudice, Star Wars, Crime and Punishment, A Streetcar Named Desire, all kinds. There's tons of information. This is a really, really good reference, and I highly recommend for my writer friends. I'm wrapping up this writing vlog. It is Saturday, and I had some errands to run this morning, but I just wrote for only about 30 minutes, and I have some other things I need to do. So I may write later for a little bit, but right now I am at 21,300 words, which is about 69 pages. I also did some work on talking out or making notes on the climactic section of my story. So I think there's going to be 2 scenes where like everything is going to come to a head and everything's going to be revealed. And so I've been just kind of figuring that out a little bit more. And what else? I've made some notes about chapters that I want to add, or things that I want to add within some of the chapters that I already have. I did do some work on Alice's character arc and kind of her flaws and her strengths and weaknesses kind of thing. So that was helpful. I think I probably should have done that a little earlier just to keep things cohesive throughout, but you know, you live and learn. But I was thinking earlier too, like I had started another story when I was in class and for one of the workshops, and I was thinking that story actually may very well work as like a prequel story to this one. And I know I'm getting way ahead of myself because I have not even finished this one yet, but it did kind of spark an idea. So I like that. I like to have, ideas kind of brewing. And so anyway, I am going to leave it here. Like I said, I think the next writing vlog may be another write like a famous author vlog. I thought that was a really fun way to to vlog, just seeing their routines and implementing some of their strategies. I think that is, like I said, always good because, my routine is kind of all over the place at the moment. I'm just kind of writing sporadically here and there, which, hey, it's better than nothing. I'll take it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the vlog and maybe took something out of the things that I spoke about, whether it be ideas or inspiration or goals, whatever. I'm just happy to share it, and it also pushes me to write. Making these vlogs actually encourages me to write more, because I want to share things and I want to have interesting things to share with you. And so it makes me kind of dig a little deeper in, what I'm writing and these character development things and all that. So yeah, it may be, like I said, another write like a famous author, or maybe, I don't know, we'll talk about dialogue or something. You can maybe tell me what other things that you're interested in hearing about, whether it's showing and not telling, dialogue, subtext, I don't know, world building. And there's so many different kind of working parts. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you again soon.